Welcome, everybody, episode 32. And before we start...
What's Miller got in store for us?
Miller's got intro music going.
Yeah.
I like it.
On a Browns victory Sunday. Yes!
That was the
4 games.
The Chopin funeral march, starting episode 32 of the UFP Presents Unfunniest podcast. And that funeral march is for the Lions season.
What a joke.
We got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about everything else. But episode, this thing on? Yeah. Episode 32. We've made it now. We missed last week because we were on holiday break, but absolutely. So thank you guys, everybody, for following. And give me 1 second. I forgot out. I need to plug
Miller
in my
has
laptop.
His beautiful Christmas sweater on.
I
like
do.
That.
I do.
It's very sexy. You look
svelte. Yes. My cheap one from Old Navy. Before my laptop ends, I'm going to plug my laptop in.
Ask you what brand that is.
There we go. There we go. Laptop's plugged in. We're all good.
Everyone pay attention to the Browns football and the new Browns Burr J. Kosar Jr. number 19 autographed helmet as a Christmas gift from one Jim Ward to his older brother, Mike. That's Jimmy to me. Yes. Look at that. Right there in the background. It is a beauty. It's right on top of Browns football. And again, we're on Browns Victory Sunday. Woo! Let me tell you.
Win victories.
When you opened that, it brought chills to me. I swear.
That was pretty awesome to open and pull out of the box, and then I saw the autograph. I told you, I was looking at Bernie's website, and I was actually thinking about buying myself a number 19 autographed jersey to frame, and then maybe put that like over here because of course my wall's blank during the podcast.
You should
take everything down, but yeah, I'd love to. We'll go through some stuff, run down, and then I'm gonna share the video from the stadium today as Bryce's family was introduced at the stadium. Bernie was on the big screen. Yeah. So, anyways, Miller, go ahead. I interrupted your always ceremonious introduction, which you're very good at.
And only the Browns can screw it up by actually winning. Winning means nothing. So we'll talk about that later. But episode 32, important number 32s in Michigan. The 2016 AL Rookie of the Year, Michael Fulmer of the Detroit Tigers, was number 32. Rip Hamilton, number 32. Bill Lambier, number 32. Some big ones there, and I'm sure we're missing a bunch more. Dre Bly, in past history of the Lions, and Brian Brandt.
And, of course, one of the greatest running backs in NFL history from the Cleveland Browns, number 32, Jim Brown.
You know, did I tell you I got to meet him one time?
I think you told me. Weren't you on an elevator someplace or something?
No. I was was flying first class from here to L.A. during one of the trips
mic
I had.
drop?
Woo! Yep, mic drop.
First class. Whoa,
on that
man.
Flight was D.L. Hughley, it was Jalen Rose, and Jim Brown. We're all in first class on that flight and got to meet all those guys. So
where were you flying to?
Los Angeles from Detroit.
Mic drop Miller. Let me tell you guys something that was on a first class flight to Los Angeles, and of course there was Jim Brown.
What was the meal?
Yeah, what was the meal?
Probably chicken. Chicken. Is it chicken or is it chicken? Any of the Tommy Boy fans out there will understand that one.
Back in your drinking days? Not that you were a big drinker, but
had a couple cocktails on the way to LA. So episode 32, we don't want to have to talk about it, but we have to. Pathetic, miserable, gusting. That's just my talk about the holidays, but then we have to talk about the Lions as well these last 2 weeks. Pathetic, miserable.
Can someone explain to me why we're playing NFL football games on Christmas Day? Anyone have an answer? Anyone at all?
Money.
It's definitely not Santa's decision.
It's tongue in cheek with that question.
Well, and honestly, this year, if you're going to play, made more sense, but it's on Thursday as opposed to last year having it on Wednesday.
Right. Last year was Wednesday. Yeah. This year was Thursday. But I mean, okay, listen, this is coming from a very big football fan, meaning me, and you and Jim clearly are just as big of football fans. But do we need football on at 4:30 on Christmas Day during Christmas dinner?
No.
So the Thanksgiving thing has been a tradition for Mark. How many years? I don't even know. I mean, it goes back to
like 1950s.
Yeah.
For the NBA, you said?
No. The NFL Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving.
So it's almost a rite of passage. Lions fans know at 12:30 or now it's 1:00. On Thanksgiving, they're playing. The Cowboys fans know at 4:30 they're playing, so that's a little bit different story. But Christmas Day? I mean, what are we going to do? So when Christmas is on Tuesday, are we going to play a Tuesday game? I'm assuming they're going to try to fit that in.
Dude, you listen to the comments from Penei Sewell. Probably one of the most hyped up guys on that team. And he's like, I don't like this. Like, you make us play on Thanksgiving. It's a tradition. But to send us off, not only did they play a 4:15 game on Sunday, then they had to fly out of town to Minnesota and play on Christmas Day. Like, that's ridiculous.
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree, but that's Roger Goodell. That's the NFL. Let's play every day of the week so we can water down our product, and eventually people are going to get tired of it. I know. I'm going to take a lot of flack for that. I'll never get tired of the NFL.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully you get a lot of bites on that.
Yeah.
There's one thing that they do need to have every year. It was a mix between Snoop, Andrea Bocelli, Huntrix, and Lainey Wilson. It was a mixture that I didn't know we needed, but we have to have that every Christmas Day now for the halftime show. That was a great. It was awesome. It was awesome.
So honestly, so I haven't seen any ratings. Has anybody seen any ratings yet from Thursday?
Netflix won't show it.
Yeah, they're not going to show anything because here's what happened. This is what happened in our house. I'm probably assuming this is what happened in your house. I'm assuming this is what happened in many other houses on Christmas Day. Turn on TV, turn volume down, go eat dinner. So the ratings are going to look good, right? I'm assuming they're going to look good. It consisted of, Jim, what do we peek in every once in a while? I mean, I've never seen you so disinterested in a Lions game in my life. Granted, we kind of knew as the game progressed and they looked worse and worse. It was like, I'm not even watching this crap. This is pathetic.
I'm going to say that the ratings were actually probably bad. I'm going to guess that. And here's the reason why. Well, if you have a normal Sunday, let's just say the three of us are watching it at home and there's 3 different households that are watching it. Now, if you have families that are together, all 3 of us would be together and you're only showing one household that's watching that video, watching that game. So when it shows number of households, that's the reason why for the longest time the NFL has the Super Bowl Sunday and not the Super Bowl Saturday. I was
going to say. Yeah.
Because less people will be at bars, less people will be together, and so their ratings technically are higher. Now, is it true? I mean, ratings would probably be their number of eyes would be higher, but the actual numbers that they could see would probably be less. Right. Because, in a bar, as opposed to 25 people sitting at home, it's a big difference. And, times that by 1,000, it's a lot big different.
Yeah. I mean, I seriously, I had zero inclination to get up from the dinner table to go actually check on the game. Again, I guess the preface should be that the Lions were playing awfully, and we could basically see that they were out of playoff contention at that point. And then, ironically enough, the Packers go out and get their handed to them last night.
Nice.
Yeah. So had the Lions decided to show up and actually play in the game, put all the Christmas stuff aside, Penei and everybody else, and which I can completely understand, and I'm very empathetic to what they said. However, all you had to do was beat the hapless Minnesota Vikings and the no-name quarterback of which...
Third
string quarterback. Does anyone know this man's name? Because I do not. No. Miller? What was his name?
No clue.
Shoeless Joe Jackson?
He is third...
Al Donnelly.
Babe Laufenberg.
Bumblebee Tuna.
That's even better.
Bumblebee Tuna.
It's the Babe Swan song.
I feel like...
I was so unmotivated to watch that game.
Unmotivated is not the word for it.
How late did I show up to your house? I'm like, I haven't even watched the game yet.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So his name was... Wait, no, sorry, that's the wrong Lions.
And here's the other thing. Do you remember that there was actually a game at 1:00 on Thanksgiving Day?
Okay,
I couldn't even tell you. I can't tell you who played in that game.
Who played in that game? I mean, listen, again, this is us being pretty... Okay, we are not the staunchest of NFL football fans in the whole world.
We're 3 guys in the basement.
No, I got it.
Yeah, with cheap microphones that we bought on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Jimmy didn't, but...
It was De La Salle versus Regina.
The pilots versus the satellites.
Man, yeah, and powder puff football. Holy mackerel. So you had, let's see, his name, Max Brosmer, number 12, Max Brosmer. So, first of all, I didn't understand the uniforms. They didn't even look like the Vikings. You couldn't even see the Viking logo on the side of the helmet. Could you guys?
No,
it was a white. It was pretty cool.
Good thing they were playing indoors too, and not like in a rainstorm, because that could have been a very big wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, that would have been bad. So our friend and consummate hero of the Minnesota Vikings, Brosmer, number 12, 9 of 16 for 51 yards. The Lions lost 23-10 to a third-string backup quarterback named Max Brosmer, who went 9 of 16 for 51 yards. To the credit of the defensive line of the hapless Leos, they did sack him 7 times for 48-yard losses, and he had a 62.2 rating. Max Brosmer, number 12. Woo! Man,
these stats are stressing me out right now.
There's 31 other teams lining up to get a hold of Max Brosmer as we speak, to sign him. Said no NFL team ever. Sorry. I mean, it just goes to... Go ahead.
You got it up. Shoot Goff's stats.
Our friend and consummate hero, Jared Goff, number 16, 18 of 29, 197, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks... I'm sorry, 2 interceptions. He had a 64.9 rating. He had a 2 rating higher than our friend Max Brosmer. He also lost 3 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken. Mark, you want to reaffirm that for me?
Yeah, there was 5.
I think so, yeah.
They had 6
pathetic.
turnovers.
6?
6.
Turnovers.
Count them. 6. How does this team show up to an NFL game where, in theory, all you have to do is win and you're alive? Even if Green Bay won, they would still be alive. Then they could take care of business in Chicago, which I do not think they would have done, especially now. They're not going to. Why even show up next week?
No, definitely not.
But to my point, show up in Minnesota, take Max Brosmer and send him packing with his 51 yards passing and throttle them. But no, you get throttled? This is... How many times have I got on this podcast in the last however many months and I talk about Dan Campbell and his post-game press conferences? We're just one play away. We're there, man. We're there. We got a couple things to clean up, but we're there. We can see where we're at. Then they lose to the Rams. Well, we're not quite there yet because we see what the top of the pinnacle of the NFC is, and that is the Los Angeles Rams. We're there, man. I'm telling you right now, we're there. We're one play away. What delusion are they living in right now? And This goes back to, listen, I catch a lot of flack from a lot of people saying that, I'm old man yelling at clouds, and I don't like celebrations, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. Perhaps the Detroit Lions could stop getting excited about getting first downs, picking their nose, and doing the proverbial flick of the booger into the crowd. Perhaps you could go play football and act like professionals.
Don't take flack. It's passion.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. This team walked into 90% of these games this year with the attitude of, we're the Detroit Lions. We went to the NFC Championship game in 2023. We were up 17 points. Pound on our chest. Woo! Guess what? You got your asses handed to you in the second half from the Fenders. You got knocked out of the NFC Championship game. Yeah, sorry. I did drop a name down.
It's all good.
You go 15-2 last year by the grace of God. Nobody knows how. You had this mantra and this attitude walking into a playoff game at home, the number 1 seed. All you got to do is win. You go in there thinking you're going to thump the rookie Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, and you get thumped. Then you proceed to go out this year and basically lay an egg for half the season. And then you put up the performance you put up on Thursday, on Christmas Day. I'm going to catch flack for this, but I'm going to tell you something right now. What I text you guys, I think Dan Campbell has, I don't even want to say the whole year next year. They better show something the first 8 games of the season next year, or there is going to be a serious fire under his seat. And I think Brad Holmes already should have fire under his seat. What he did to mismanage this roster, to not improve on this roster after the 2023 NFC not champions, half the champions of the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do now? I'm not saying blow this whole thing up. I'm not saying this is a rebuild, but it's certainly, would you guys agree, a retool? Yes?
Absolutely.
Retool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
He's a
okay,
good coach.
Jimmy,
ahead,
what
Jim.
are their top 3 needs? What do you think that they They need to, let's take coaches out of the equation.
Need
Obviously,
somebody
you
on
need
the
to know
opposite side of Hutch, backup quarterback, and probably another wide receiver. That would be mine.
Mike?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Offensive line.
I was going to say, I can't believe you were going there.
Yeah.
Miller, top three?
Number one they have to do is they have to sign the top free agent center that's out there, whoever that is. I haven't had a chance to really look. You have to have somebody that's going to be a quarterback of that offensive line. You have to have, I think they played 4 centers in their last 3 games of the year, is ridiculous. You need to have somebody that's going to be there, somebody that's going to be that leader and going to take away that offensive line calls away from Goff, because I think that backed him up big time. I don't think you put that to a rookie. I think you need to sign a free agent. And then I think Decker's going to be gone. So I think you have to sign. That means Sewell's going to go from the right to the left on the offensive line, take that blind spot. And then you need to sign, and your number 1 draft pick needs to be an offensive lineman, that you probably a right tackle. And then I address the defense.
I'll say this real quick. I'm not a huge Romo fan, but he made a lot of good points with the new center snapping the ball to Goff, and the laces weren't there, and he had to throw it off the laces.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, you're a quarterback. Tell us about that.
If the ball doesn't come out the right way? Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. So it's funny because Goff had a situation like that. And then also, I believe it was Drake May in the Patriots game. Very similar situation. They had a backup center come in for a play or two. Drake May got the ball the wrong way and basically threw the ball in the dirt. And I think it was Brady actually made that point. Romo made the point in the Lions game. Brady made the point in the Pats game, or maybe it was Brady. Whoever it was, He said, "Yeah, you get the ball the wrong way, and you don't have the laces. It totally throws off the way you release the ball when you're throwing it." So there's a legitimate gripe about that. But back to the 3 needs of this team. I heard some things this week that I haven't heard in probably 4 years, but don't worry, I'm going to get to where I'm going with this and what their needs are. But the Lions and the whole grit mantra and the mentality of walking in and biting kneecaps and knock us down, and we're going to get back up and we're going to take another bite of your kneecap and knock us down again and blah, 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 right? So I give Dan Campbell a lot of credit. Dan Credit Campbell. Yes, for instilling this type of stigma in this franchise, on this football team. However, this year was the opposite. It's almost like the opposing teams in most weeks went in and did to the Lions what the Lions have been doing to the rest of the NFL for the last 3 years. Manhandled on both sides of the lines, defensive lines. You're not going to kick our butts, we're going to kick your butts. You know, this swagger, which again, I think translated into, in the beginning, it was great. You can have that kind of swagger. You can walk into games with a little bit of chip on your shoulder, which is what you need. But when it came time, when things started to go south, they relied too much on, we're the Detroit Lions. We've done this, we've done that. We're gonna win games based off of things that we've done in the past. No, that's not how this league works. That's not how sports works. So they need to go. Their number 1 issue is reestablishing, Mark and Jim, to your points, the offensive line. That is.
They have not been the toughest team in the last half of the season.
No, I would argue almost the whole season. I mean, so I think that they absolutely have to improve the offensive line. To both of your points, the defensive line, they've got to get somebody on the opposite side of Hutch. Hutch has been rendered useless. Granted, he had a pretty good game the other day. Again, he's coming back from a broken leg, so it's. I think most of us thought it was going to take a season to get his legs under him. No pun intended. But I think
he absolutely had an okay season.
Yeah, he did. So and I think it's one of those things that they just need to shore some things up. They've got the talent there. They've got plenty of weapons around Goff. I thought the stats were staggering in the Lions' wins, how Jahmyr Gibbs went off, and in the losses, how he was basically rendered not useless, but ineffective. And that's probably putting it mildly. So, you're hearing about Montgomery. Hoppy was talking about this the other day at the game. Montgomery's ticked off. He wants more touches. He's not happy. Now you're going to get all these little fire bombs that are being set off around the franchise, right, and around the team. Now that they're not going to make the playoffs, how does Dan Campbell handle this? How does
get back to the basics?
Yeah, get back exactly. But how is he going to manage? This is where you're really going to see Dan Campbell as a coach and how good of a coach he is. Because when the Lions were basically irrelevant when he came in, and they were 2-14 or 2-15 that first season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get their first win until the 11th or 12th game of the year. You saw him start to come into his own. So this is the opposite end of the spectrum. He's been to both. Now he's been to the pinnacle and he's been in the valley, right? The mountaintop and the valley. He's in the valley now. How does he get the team out of the valley? That's going to be my biggest thing this offseason. And then, of course, like I said, going into next year, the first however many games, how does he navigate this ship, pardon the pun, or pardon the cliche, I guess you would say. How does he navigate the ship out of the storm? Because that's what they're in right now. Mm-hmm. So they've got to do a lot of things in the offseason.
They do. I think coming up against the Bears, dude, you gotta get this team straight.
Yeah.
I know it's the last game of the year, but
wow. So is this going to be? So this is interesting. You bring that up. So is this going to be 2022 Packers Lions at Lambeau, where they went in and manhandled the Pack the last game of the season with nothing to play for except to knock the Packer out of knock them out of the playoffs. They don't have that type of incentive this time. The Bears are in the playoffs. It's going to come down. As a matter of fact, I don't think, even if the Bears lose, right?
It's against Ben Johnson.
Well, it's against Ben Johnson, and I'm going to tell you something right now, because Dan Campbell ran up the score against the NFL. So if you don't like it, stop it. That's what I would say back to week 2 or whatever it was, week 3, when the Lions throttled the Bears. But it's Ben Johnson. This is a completely different Bears team. This is a completely different team. And it is at home, at Soldier Field, in front of their home fans. And it's going to be, it's not for, okay, did you guys look at the standings?
No, I haven't.
So let's look at the standings really quick. With the Pack at 9-6-1, the Bears are 11-4-0. So they clinched the division. That's right.
Right.
So the Bears clinched the division with the Packers lost last night.
And
so
if I'm not mistaken, Chicago and 49ers play this weekend. That'll determine the number 1 seed.
Is that tonight?
I think so. I think that's the game tonight.
Hold on a minute. Our unpreparedness.
Our show meeting.
Yes.
Bears are 49ers.
That's the 8:20 game tonight. So that'll be a great game. So they're both 11-4. Rams have something to say about that, because the Rams are playing tomorrow night?
Well, no, the Seahawks. It would be the Seahawks would be in that third team, because Seahawks wrapped up the NFC West when they beat the Rams.
And I think they wrapped up the 27-10 over the Panthers. Did that catapult them into the number 1 seed? No, they still haven't wrapped it up. No. They haven't wrapped it up.
Oh, they haven't?
If the Niners win tonight, they're 12-4. So Seattle could lose next week. The Niners could win next week and win the NFC West.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? The Rams sit down there in third place in the division. Well, tied for second, I guess you would say, at 11-4.
As you say, Rams. That's why I got my hat on.
Yep. I instantly become a Rams fan. Yeah, exactly. And in the AFC, call me crazy, I'm rooting for Jacksonville. I think this turnaround that they've had, either Jacksonville or even the Pats. I don't know why I'm saying that. I do want to see. All right, hold on. Yeah, well, that was Vrabel, and I like Drake May.
Dude, he's brought that team together.
I do want to see the Bills. I would like to see the Bills win a Super Bowl. I think Josh Allen deserves to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, totally.
That kid is.
Yes.
You want to talk about somebody that comes out and plays every week? 100,000%. That is Josh Allen. He is the epitome. Huh? Yeah.
Playing right now.
So we'll see. And yes, my Browns have postponed the AFC North title. Well, of course, so did Baltimore by beating the living daylights out of the Pack last night. But it comes down, the AFC North will come down to Pittsburgh and Baltimore in Pittsburgh next Sunday. And I'm sure Aunt Ann and the Stunyas will be in attendance cheering on.
And just give us the tickets. We'll come out. We'll come out for the game.
Yes, they will.
We're going there tomorrow or Tuesday.
We're getting a suite.
Yeah. We're going to her house in the next 2 days, so hopefully she won't be too much on life support at that point after today. especially after the Browns.
She gets anxiety.
She definitely gets anxiety about it.
We text each other back and forth all the time.
I even text her. I text her the other day. I text her. Must have been Friday, maybe Thursday night, Christmas night. We were texting Merry Christmas back and forth. But I'm like, hey, nice victory by your Steelers. Oh, no, that was last Sunday when the Steelers beat the Lions. Nice victory. She didn't respond to me, so I was kind of surprised. But nonetheless, anyways.
No, I text her right before the game started. I go, all right, here we go. I said, just so you know, whatever the outcome is, I still love you.
So this is hold on a minute. I'm gonna play. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm trying to figure this stupid thing out again.
Miller, what'd you do today?
Coffee talk.
What'd you do today, Miller?
We went to Michael's craft store. I had to work church, and then we worked to Michael's afterwards.
You went to Michael's? I actually like that store.
Yeah, it was fun. Hobby Lobby's a little bit more fun. It's bigger.
Hobby Lobby's cool too.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby's bigger. I like that. Charlotte had money to spend.
Well,
gift cards.
That's always fun.
Oh yeah.
How was Christmas?
Okay, hold on. I want to share my screen real quick because I want to. This is pretty cool. So this is for Bryce at the stadium today, who of course was the donor for Bernie and his liver transplant, and they did a tribute to him today at the stadium. So this is just for 1 second. I want to share this. Okay, here we go. Sharing my screen. You guys can see it, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Woo! That was Bernie on the big screen. There's his mom. Look at all the 19 jerseys. Yes!
Dude.
Mother of Bryce Dunlop. How cool is this? She was the honorary captain today.
You gotta have chills watching this.
Oh, dude, it's giving me way chills. The only thing that would be better is if it was at the old stadium. So she's going to go over and grab the guitar.
She put her goggles on.
Get out of here.
There it is. Steelers guitar.
Nice.
Boom! Yes! Kill the Steelers. Yes! Destroy it. Yes! Bernie Kosar's liver donor. Yep. Jim Kane, mother of Bryce Dunlop.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was what the heck? Rocco's tee shot.
And that was Rocco's tee shot.
Yeah.
Well, let's. That was a great scene, and like I said, only the Browns can truly screw up at the end of the year when they don't need a victory and they want to lose. Then they sure enough win. Let's cause yourself up and lose them another couple rounds of draft pick, but let's kind of move on from that.
Hold on a minute. Let's just look at Shedeur real quick because this is obviously a huge in terms of being a Browns fan and all of our Browns fan listeners out there. I mean, Shedeur once again played pretty well. Not bad. Not great. He was 17 to 23, 186 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, a 75.6 rating. He did rush 4 times for 20 yards, but he continues to listen. He is a rookie. Yep. He is Shedeur Sanders. He was taken to the 5th round. All of the crap that goes with him, all of the Coach Prime stuff, all the distractions, and he's just kind of quietly, I say that almost seriously, somewhat quietly stepped into the role, and he is showing Browns fans that there is certainly some cause for optimism going forward in the future.
Dylan didn't. You didn't see that with Gabriel Dillon.
No.
Or with what?
Dylan Gabriel.
You know, whatever his name is. Gillen, Gabriel, whatever. But you didn't see that from any other quarterback.
No, you didn't.
You know.
So there's flashes of optimism, which is what we need. I don't think Myles Garrett set the sack record today, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Myles Garrett.
Why you look that up?
He
Miller,
did not.
Did you notice Mike
not have a sack?
Named his number 19 Ward?
I did. I saw 19 Ward on his name there, yeah.
It's a Browns victory Sunday. The only thing that's missing is my stupid glasses.
Yeah, where's the glasses?
Oh.
Sorry, I forgot them. Yeah, I know. I got to go find them. They're not here. I think I put them in my vehicle.
Yeah.
So,
but
go ahead,
I agree. I agree that with nice. Sure, Sanders gives them something there. He's, you can't say he's lived up to the hype, because what hype is there for a 5th-round draft pick? Once you step on the field, once you step between those lines, it doesn't matter if he's Dion's son, if he's Bernie's son, who he is, he's got to play the game. He's not going to get any special treatment out there. And quietly, yeah, he's a rookie. He's made some rookie mistakes, but on the whole, I think there's more upside, I think, for next year, and I think there's room to be positive with that.
Yeah, so he has passed for over 1,000 yards in 6 games, 1,103 yards. So yeah, I mean, 6 games, 92% completion percentage, 92 of 167. Sorry, percentage of 55.1, 1,103 yards. He has 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, he's taken 15 sacks. So that's the one thing that I guess is a little bit concerning. I'll say this really quick, because this is one of the knacks on Shedeur from the beginning, even at Colorado, is he hangs onto the ball too long. So just like with Dan Campbell, I'm gonna shift to the Browns, because I'm assuming that they're going to give this one more shot next year, because it certainly sounds that way. And beating the Steelers will certainly go a little bit away to giving him a little bit of wiggle room to get to the next season. But let's see how Stefanski, this offensive mind genius that he apparently is, let's see how he coaches Shedeur. Let's see how he gets Shedeur to not hang on to the ball too long, how to use his mobility, how to use his legs, escape the pocket, step up in the pocket, get your timing down, go through your progressions, make the throws. I think, again, there's certainly some cause for optimism when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. So on that happy note, Myles Garrett did not get a sack today, so he did not break the record. So he's got 1 game to do it.
All right. So let's move on from the NFL. It's sad we'll probably talk about it next week too, but let's talk about college football and college football playoffs.
Playoffs?
Last time we joined you, we gave our predictions, and I will say that I am the only one that went 4-0 with my predictions.
You did.
Yep. So all correct.
It's a marathon, Miller. It's not a sprint. You haven't won anything yet.
I'm sure, but let's kind of review some of those games, because I think it was kind of interesting. The ones that really weren't a big deal. Oregon blew out James Madison, but hey, James Madison got there. They've only been Division I, I think, now for 3 or 4 years. So to be up there is pretty darn good. And in fact, that's where Cignetti, if you remember, that's where Cignetti came from, Indiana's coach.
Can we pause for a moment? Can I just interject?
Absolutely.
Can we get rid of the Power 5?
Absolutely.
No.
Oh,
the group of 5. You mean the group of 5?
The group of 5. Yeah, the group of 5.
And it used to be the P5, but now with Big 12, whatever, the Pac-12 gone.
Pac-12.
No, hell no. Western. We'll talk about them later. No, I'm just kidding. But eventually, yeah, you're gonna have those go out, and you're gonna have a super.
Just think about how. This will spur on. I'm sure this will spur on some conversations, but just think about how well Notre Dame would have fared in some of these games. I mean, really, instead of these blowouts, I would argue Notre Dame probably would have won one of them. Let's just have the top. Again, I'm not trying to advocate for not allowing these teams to win their championships and their conference championships to make it to the playoff and everything else. At the end of the day, it's about competitiveness. I could talk this week again, and I think it would certainly be better if we just have the best football teams in the country in the playoff. Of course, it's going to be expanded. I don't know if that's going to be in 2027 or what. Yeah. So go ahead, Mark. I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. So the next game that was a big blowout was the Ole Miss Tulane game, 41-10. By the way, let's just call this the Lane Kiffin bracket. Lane Kiffin pocketed $250,000 for that victory. So he pocketed $250,000 from the LSU athletic department for the victory that Ole Miss got.
What are we doing wrong here?
Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
They gave him his bonus, and if Ole Miss goes all the way, he wins $1.5 million. He'll get as a bonus for that. One of the other kind of exciting games, but it was low scoring, was that Miami Texas A&M game, 10-3. Watch out for Miami. It was a huge defensive battle, which I didn't think it was going to be. I thought you're going to see some more offense in that game, but I think Miami's got a lot more than what people give them credit for, and I think that there's something there, to watch out for them.
New Year's Eve, 7:30 p.m. We'll be on the shores, on the mountainsop of the Seven Springs Ski Resort at Ann Ann's. I'll be watching, I'm sure, on my phone because the Wi-Fi doesn't work all that great up there.
Foggy Goggle.
The Foggy Goggle. Yeah.
We'll join you. Right. We'll all be there.
That's a great bar.
All right.
Had some good times there.
All right, so let's go over the next matchups and let's talk about who we're gonna who we've got there. So first one we're gonna look at is Oregon and Texas Tech. Oregon is favored by 2.5, and it's gonna be at Texas Tech on New Year's Day.
Who's going first?
Well, it's not at Texas Tech. It's actually what bowl is that considered?
Oh, correct. It's the Orange Bowl.
It's the Orange Bowl.
Why aren't these at college? These next aren't at the college campuses.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
I don't understand that. Like, come on. Home field advantage.
Well, it is. I mean, I guess that's the whole reason for the bye. But I mean, at this point, the only advantage of having a bye is you get a week off, as opposed to getting, having it actually at your home stadium. So this game is on New Year's Day at noon. Ducks versus the Texas Tech Raiders.
Red Raiders.
I'm going Oregon. Miller?
All right, you're going Ducks, and I'm going the Red Raiders.
Holy mackerel. Miller on a limb from left field.
Here he goes. 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kiss my butt.
Texas Tech is it's probably the team that no one talks about all year. And I think that they are just a solid team. They can pass like nobody's business. They're just going to destroy Oregon when it comes to that spread offense that they're going to throw out there.
Think so?
I think so. It's going to be a extremely high scoring game. It's probably going to be like a 55-49 game or something like that.
I don't think it's going to be that high. I see it in the 30s probably.
It's
at 28 Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
35-28. Either way, I'm putting that down just in case it comes through. Next game is going to be the granddaddy of them all, 4 p.m. on January 1st. Alabama versus the Hoosiers, the Clark Hoosiers of Indiana. Clark Jr. is there.
Yeah.
So Indiana is favored by 6.5.
Ooh.
Hoosiers.
I'm going Alabama. Ooh. I'm going Alabama 21-14.
21-14.
I actually think so. Hear me out on this. I do think because Indiana is a pretty young team per se, even though they were in the playoff last year, they got throttled. I think the week off hurts them. I do. I think they were on a tremendous roll. I think the emotional high that they were on beating Ohio State, because again, I almost equated the Big Ten championship game to being their national championship game. They were on such a high to beat Ohio State that having 3 weeks off and playing in the Rose Bowl, not playing at home, playing in the Rose Bowl, granted, neutral site, just like Indianapolis was for the Big Ten championship game. But I think that's a disadvantage for them. Alabama's played. Alabama's been playing. Alabama's been there. Kalen DeBoer is certainly starting to cement himself as a legitimate big-time coach at Alabama, despite all of the criticism he took earlier in the year and the 2 years that he's been there. I think Alabama wins this game.
That's a good point. Because, Miller, you made fun of me having a tantrum when the Lions lost after the bye week. But, yeah, I mean, it throws you off. It really does.
Yes, there is absolutely something to be said about consistency. It's in all sports. I believe football, there is absolutely an advantage to having some time off to rest for injuries. I mean, you see it. Yeah, right. You see it in especially baseball. How long it took the Dodgers to get back into form against the Blue Jays in the World Series after having 8 days off.
Yeah.
I just think Alabama has been playing. They're on a roll. That comeback from being down 14-0 and the emotional high that gave them, it's very difficult to get off the tracks with the train rolling down the hill when you've got momentum like Alabama
Exactly
has.
what you said, getting off the tracks. When you have your adrenaline going.
Yep.
Nothing better.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. The Sugar Bowl, the Old Miss Rebels
sugar on me
versus the Georgia Bulldogs. All right. I'm going to say mine first. I'm going to go on Old Miss in this, even though Georgia's favored by 6.5. You talk about a team that's wanting to throw the middle finger at everybody out there. It's Old Miss.
Think so?
Their coach didn't want them. You know, Trinidad, their quarterback, the guy from Ferris State, playing as good as there is out there, I think I like Ole Miss.
Well, you've certainly proved me wrong prior in many things and facets of life, Miller. But I'm definitely going. I'm going Georgia on this. This is so the layoff here because of Kirby Smart and the experience that they have playing in multiple big games, contrary to what Indiana has. I think that gives them an advantage in this particular case. Just, again, because of the experience, the way that he'll be able to coach this team, have them ready. Listen, I agree. I would like to see Ole Miss win because I'd like to see them shove it up the you-know-what of Lane Kiffin. Take that, go off to your LSU job, and, by the way, we just knocked somebody off. But I think Georgia wins this game. I think this is a close game, though. I really do.
Yep.
That 6.5 seems a little bit much for me, but this is probably a 31-28 game, Georgia.
Remember, it's kind of in the backyard of Mississippi. This is going to be in New Orleans, so close to
Miller,
Mississippi
I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim has a question.
Raising my hand. You like in on with the NFL refs lately?
Where does this come from?
I'm going Ole Miss as well.
Oh, man. Yeah. Holy cow. Jim has gone with the side of Miller.
Yeah.
The Rebels.
I think he's got an insider.
Yeah.
Charlotte's been picking my games for me.
Good for her.
Well, that's a legitimate source.
The last game is going to be the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Miami Hurricanes versus the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Excuse me.
Ohio State
University Buckeyes. Go ahead.
Ohio State University Buckeyes. Ohio State University Buckeyes. 9.5 points. That's a big spread for Ohio State. And what kind of comeback are they going to have after that devastating loss in the Big Ten championship game and that layoff?
Well, I will go back to the same thing with Kirby Smart and Georgia. I think Ryan Day, now they have played in certainly big games. Ryan Day has, and literally just last year. So there's so many different ways this can go, right? Because again, if you look at Ohio State last year, they had to play that first round game and they throttled Tennessee at home. They were coming off that devastating loss to Michigan. That was a true devastating loss to Michigan.
I'm being facetious with that.
I know you are. Yeah. But to your point of being facetious, I think that they looked at the Indiana Big Ten championship game as a warm-up. They looked at it as, okay, whatever, I don't know if I want to use the little brother thing because it's certainly not a rivalry like that between Michigan. Right. So I think Ryan Day will have them ready. I think they have the experience. I think will basically do the same exact thing that he did last year. I think they're going to go into this game. They are going to open up the playbook. I think they're going to take shots downfield with their wide receiver core. I think Julian Sand might have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, even though he came in 4th in the Heisman voting. I think that he wants to go out and show that the Big Ten championship game was not him. So I think I think the Buckeyes win this game 35-21. And I might even be, actually, you know what? I take that back. 35-14. I think they only give up 2 touchdowns to Miami. Might even give up a touchdown and a field goal. But whoa! That came out of nowhere. Holy mackerel, 45. That's impressive. Miami's got a pretty good defense, so I don't know if they're going to be able to score that many. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to score that many points. But Ohio State's defense, as we know, is every bit as good as Miami's. And if Miami comes out with the offensive performance that they came out with last week, Jim might be right. So as we keep saying, could go.
If I'm not even close, I'm fired from this podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
See you guys.
Jimmy's gone. All right.
So it's probably a good thing that we are going to Pennsylvania and not having people at the house this year because it might be contentious.
117, Miami is who I'm picking.
Oh,
yep.
Come on. I think Miller's an insider.
No.
Yeah, he just did that with his earphone too.
Yeah.
New York.
Here's my thinking on this. You talked about that gap and that delay or having a bye week. So Miami didn't play in the conference championship game. So they had a couple weeks off, probably 3 weeks, almost 3.5 weeks off before they played Texas A&M. And so that was a lot of rust that Miami had to kick off in that game. And I think that's why you saw some of what happened. Now they played the game. Now, how many weeks has it been since Ohio State played? It's been 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks.
It'll be almost 4 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be 4 weeks since Ohio State played. So Ohio State's going to have, I think, a little bit more rust than what Miami did. And I think that's why I think, especially with the freshman quarterback, especially when it comes to a lot of that, and coaching is one thing, but I just think that I'm going to give the edge to Miami.
Works, though? Like rest and rust. Like,
well, there's such a delicate balance. There's such a fine line between rest and rust.
Especially with kids. These are kids.
Well, that's what I mean. So that's why I do think, and I was being serious when I said this, I mean, I give all the credit in the world to Curt Cignetti and what he's done in Indiana, but do they really have the experience to be able to harken back to say, hey, this is what happened last year with too much rest or not enough rest or injuries or this, that, and everything else? I just think that you take the teams that have been playing in these high-level matchups for the last few years, meaning Georgia, meaning Ohio State, to an extent, Oregon. You know, what does Oregon do looking back at the Ohio State game in the Rose Bowl last year, too, right? Like, they want to prove the world wrong that was maybe not a fluke, but that wasn't them. I mean, it's a different team, it's a different roster, but you've still got basically the same core that's there, that they remember that Rose Bowl game. They remember getting run out of the Rose Bowl by the Buckeyes. Listen, nobody was going to beat the Buckeyes last year. They were on such an incredible roll that I don't think that there was any team that was stopping them. But at the same time, let's see what Oregon's got.
Yeah, them and their 37 different uniforms.
I think it's 39.
Thank you.
Thank God you didn't say 67.
6-7.
Come on, you're the last person I thought you'd bring that up.
Well, the only reason I did is because the last game of the season at North, last game of the 2025 home season at North, I had to endure we got to get to 67. I'm like, what are they talking about? Why do we want to get to 67? And then someone informed me, and what the whole premise of the 67 thing was. And
there is no premise.
Oh my word! Where are we at in society? But anyways, nonetheless, I digress. Continue.
We had good jokes last night. Yeah.
Let's talk about the most dominating. Let's talk about one of the most dominating performances this college bowl season in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Western Michigan playing Kennesaw State, the Owls.
Did it snow there?
Western won 41-6. They blew them out. Where this was incredible was Jalen Buckley, the running back for Western Michigan, in the first quarter rushed for 104 yards in the first quarter.
Crazy.
And they put up 27. It was 27-0 at the end of the first quarter and pretty much dominated. I mean, just it took the foot off the gas at that point. But
look at your Broncos.
That's awesome.
There was, and I say this seriously, that if they had played Michigan State at the end of the year instead of at the beginning of the year, there's no doubt in my mind they would have blown out Michigan State the way both teams are playing. And I think that the other games that they lost, one of the other games was in Illinois. Not saying they would have beat Illinois, but they probably would have gotten close. They would have played them closer than they did. And North Texas, they would have beat North Texas. So if those games go a different route, who's to say that Western wouldn't have been one of those teams in the college playoff this year? And and that's why I kind of half-heartedly joked when you were talking about the group of five not playing it anymore. And you just never know what team's going to get in there. And because remember a couple years ago, Western had a hell of a team when they played in the Cotton Bowl in 2016.
Yeah, good point.
You don't know. And of course, they were playing a Wisconsin team that really had given up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean,
Miller.
Jim has another question.
All right, Jim.
You gonna go back on the front line like Phillip Rivers?
Oh. Yeah.
Come on.
Sure.
You got it.
I'm a few years older than him, but I'm definitely not a grandfather yet. By the way, did you see the ducks? Some of the ducks that he was passing. Dude, looks like he was shot putting the ball. Like, ugh.
Well, he's always had that unorthodox throwing motion, but it looks like it is taking him every ounce of energy that he has. In his
today's game,
in his 45-year-old body, and I love it. I think it's great. I think it's awesome because I think Phillip Rivers is the ultimate competitor. He's even jawing at opposing defensive backs or defensive linemen, which I think is hilarious.
It was awesome today. Yeah,
it is so awesome to see. I think that. I mean, listen, you can see him in his jersey. He's got almost like a beer.
They're making fun of him, like how much he weighs. And
yeah.
like, dude,
He's got a
has
beer
the
gut.
largest rib protection pad on that you can possibly have.
7 levels of Kevlar.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, but it is. I was watching a little bit of the game today too. And like to Mark's point, he really had that shot put motion, throwing motion when he played back 6 years ago. Now it literally looks like he has a ball in his hand and he is doing the shot put when he's throwing the football. It's beyond unorthodox now. But he made some pretty decent throws, and then there were other throws that were probably 30 to 35 yards down the field that, again, it looked like he literally had to put every ounce of body weight into that throw. Dude, it was amazing. Yeah, good for him. I think it's a great story.
Gets another 5 years of insurance with 10 kids.
Yeah, well.
And the grandkids and everything else.
Yeah.
He's not worried about insurance with the money he's made.
You know, they didn't have anything to play for, and they gave Jacksonville a pretty good run. So let's talk about that really quick. I mean, that do we call it a collapse per se? Is it a collapse really? I mean, I don't know. Indy started out 8-1 or 7-1, right? Maybe it was 7-2. They're going to finish either 9-8 or 8-9 out of the playoffs. Well, listen, when your starting quarterback goes down, it's difficult to win. But they were already on a free fall past that, beyond that. Let's see. Rivers was 17 of 30, 147. He took 2 sacks. So not bad. Not bad, but again, he's a 45-year-old guy.
Well, we're going to talk about this I want to talk about this at a later date. But
I want to see you play again. Seriously.
Carly Irsay Gordon, the owner, Jim Irsay's daughter, who kind of took control of the team after he passed away. You know, at first I was really like, you'd see her on the sideline. She had a headset on. She's sitting there listening, and she was really involved. And I kept sitting there thinking, why? What is she doing? Is she really meddling? Is she what's going on? And I watched a couple interviews with her.
Jerry Jones Jr.
No, but I watched a couple games, and she's like, I don't know what I don't know. I'm listening to find out what I need to learn, what's going on, because how can I really run this team if I don't? And you see 3/4 of the way through the season, players are wearing T-shirts of her, like giving hugs all the time, because she really cared about that team. And she really was, she was trying to learn everything she could about it. And I give her credit.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about from one of the biggest disappointments in this area this year to, I'm going to say, one of the surprises of this area. Let's talk about the Pistons right now. The Pistons coming in at 24-7. And just so you know, only 2 games behind the best record in the NBA that Oklahoma City has.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 games behind, and we're almost halfway through the season. At what point is this not a fluke? What point is this? They're just a damn good team.
Oh, I don't think this is a fluke at all.
No.
If this was a fluke, you would have seen a run to, 8-1, 9-2, 10-3, whatever, right? And then leveled off playing 500 basketball. And you can say that about any professional team, especially in the beginning of the season. But the NBA is a little susceptible to that, I think. But where they're at right now, no. This is a legitimate team. They are playing inspired basketball. They are playing defensive basketball. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. JB Bickerstaff. I would like to see JB back off of the almost conspiracy theory stuff going on with NBA refs. I mean, okay, maybe there's some things to that, but let's not distract from the team. I mean, you have your team playing very well right now.
They're playing.
You have your team. Yeah, you're focused.
Give me 1 second. I gotta walk away.
Go ahead. I think that diving a little bit down into the rabbit hole, the referees, does that really behoove him and the Pistons for the long term? Do we really want to start putting a target on their back with the referees? I would argue no. Maybe somebody else would tell me differently. I don't think that the goal is to tick off the referees to the point where they do have a target on you, and maybe there is starting to have some conspiracy theory stuff going on. But JB he's no stranger to controversy with referees. He jaws at them probably in the top 5 of NBA coaches in terms of jawing at referees. So, yeah, I just think what he's done with this team how this team. Hey, hi, Lex. There she is.
Here.
Hi,
hold on.
Lex.
You got to put an earpiece in so you can hear. Huh?
Santa.
Santa. You got to put it in to say hi. Can you hear?
Hey, how are you?
Come here. You got to get on the camera.
Hi.
Hello.
How was Santa?
He was fun.
Yeah? Did he bring everything you wanted? We didn't get to see you on Christmas, but your presents are still here. And KK, yeah, I love that.
I'm going to eat breakfast.
You're going to what? Okay, she's leaving.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
Breakfast.
That was a fun surprise.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That was awesome.
We'll have a kids-only podcast one day.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Lexi.
Cool.
But yeah, 24-7, 7-3 in their last 10. In the conference, the Knicks are behind them at 22-9, followed by the Celtics, Magic, Raptors, and Sixers. My Cavs, who certainly had very high expectations coming into this season, sit at a game above 500 at 17-16, 4-6 in their last 10, lost 2 in a row. That I'm thinking that might be a little bit of not how they're going to finish. I do think once they get healthy, they will go on a little bit of a run. I certainly think they'll make the playoffs, but so far, I would say they're probably one of the bigger disappointments in the NBA, meaning the Cavs, I think. And the Pistons are certainly one of the – I don't think that the Pistons are the biggest surprise. Can we say – is a surprise?
I don't know, man.
How they gave, and I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, what they did in the playoffs against the Knicks. Granted, they got beat, right? But they were in every single game. That was a fierce series, and you could see that team starting to gel and come together. Ivy's only playing 12, 14 minutes a game right now as he's continued.
Only played 16 games.
Yeah,
they're doing what I not expected.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm looking at stats right now. Cade Cunningham averaging 26.5 points, averaging 9.6 assists, and 6.3 boards a game, almost near triple-double. Duran, 18.3 points and 10.8 boards a game, a double-double he's averaging. The only problem I'm seeing with this team right now is Isaiah Stewart, and Isaiah Stewart needs to rein it in a little bit. He's been a little out of control. Yeah, he's been a little out of control, and you need a little bit of that wild card. You need a little bit somebody you're almost scared of. Pistons have always had that, and I think that's where Cade and Duran and Ivy, they need to kind of take him under their wings and kind of rein him back a little bit. But on the whole, what's not to like? I mean, are they the best talent in the NBA? No. Are they one of the best teams? Absolutely, because they're playing like a true team.
Yeah, I can't be more pleasantly happy, I guess you would say, with how they're playing so far. It's just what. Listen, the LCA's starting to fill up on a game-to-game, night-to-night basis, which is certainly really good to see.
Dude,
with the enthusiasm.
Awesome.
You get the enthusiasm back into that place. So, and that has, in my opinion, that has the potential to be more of a home court advantage than the Palace ever was because of the acoustics, because of the
Palace and Joe Louis.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I mean.
It's all downward. That's how they
structured
it.
It was interesting because we were at Trans-Siberian Orchestra last night. Rebecca and I were, which I'll get to real quick too. And we were on the floor actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait a second here. Hold on. I got a question.
Go ahead.
What made you go to this?
Well, okay. Not to go off into a Christmas present thing, but usually what I try to do is one of the gifts that I give her is an experience. Usually I like to go to the Fox Theater.
That's why I'm asking.
Miller, you son of a bitch. Oh, I mean, damn it. You better
give her an experience.
Experience like as in a travel experience, as in going someplace like
I've known you for 39 years. And
are you sure? It
makes sense, but it was still funny to hear.
Date night experience.
No, I think that's awesome.
Yes.
Cool.
So, to make a very long story short, the last couple of years we've gone to the Fox Theater, whether it was Christmas Story, whatever the heck it was. The one year we did the Cirque du Soleil, I think last year. But the Fox didn't have anything around the holidays, which I was kind of disappointed about, at least post-holiday, that was at least what I thought that she would like. So then I found Trans-Siberian Orchestra was playing. I've actually, believe it or not, I've been listening to that Christmas music, and I love it because it's rock, orchestra, Christmas music. It's just, in my opinion, it's awesome. But I've never actually been to one of the concerts. So I thought, all right, it's not quite as intimate as the Fox or maybe in the Fillmore, because I was looking at the Fillmore too. So I decided on the Trans-Siberian Orchestra at LCA yesterday afternoon at 3 p.m. And I'm going to tell you, I was not disappointed. It was spectacular. It was awesome.
Did you get a hotel room? And then end up driving home at 1:30 in the morning.
Did not get a hotel room. Listen, hindsight's 2020. Probably should have.
It was only at 3:30. So.
Yeah, we were gonna go. Well, we were gonna go to dinner down at whatever the heck the name of that one restaurant is, right over by the Huntington Center. Accent Room, something room, blah blah blah. Well, much to my surprise and I guess delight, Trans-Siberian Orchestra played for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours.
I heard it's phenomenal.
Dude, I was like, so I'm watching because I made reservations at 5:45 downtown. So I'm looking at my watch and I'm thinking, oh, dude, we're not going to be able to do this. These guys are still playing. So an hour and a half in, they did a little skit. And the guy got on there and he said, and that is the end of our story. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, an hour and a half. That's pretty good. Well, then the lead guitarist comes out and he goes, hey, Detroit and Rock City. Yeah, what do you think about the show so far? I'm like, wow, so far. How cool is this? They played for that was about an hour and 15 minutes. They played for another hour and 15 minutes. It was spectacular. I mean, I couldn't believe how good of a show they put on. All right, so if you guys want to watch, it's only a minute long. I don't
want to steal your thunder here, but you have a video for us.
Well, I do have a video, yes. So I'm going to pull this up here.
Much I'm in the lights.
Yeah, well, I know you're definitely into lights. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Un momento. Share my screen. Facebook. And oops, I don't want to minimize the chat. I want to maximize the chat. But anyways, here we go. Can you guys see this? Here we go. Share. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yep.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
This is the grand finale.
Let's check this bad boy out.
See the guitarist up there on the stage?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the lights.
Is this Christmas in Sarajevo?
Light show, Jim.
Dude.
I mean, look at that. It's incredible.
All right. More important, what's that jersey that guy's got on in front of you, a couple rows in front of you there?
That would be the question you would ask Miller.
What is that? Vitamin?
Look at these guys. So these,
dude.
Those elevators, basically, I guess you would call them. Those guys go up and down the whole time. It's incredible.
I don't want to ruin
the
show. I'll make my comments after.
It's kind of in coordination with it too. Look at these guys, man. They're 50 years old.
Is that Spinal Tap?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Watch this. Look at this.
Whoa.
It's crazy. Watch this.
Whoa, fire. Fire, fire, fire.
It keeps
That's pretty cool.
Do you...
Hold on, Jim. It gets better.
Oh, those guys are leaving. Ask them why they're leaving.
Yeah, they're leaving.
Don't leave.
Watch this. Look at this.
There's more people leaving. Whoa, it's pinwheels.
Yeah, Wall was right. Watch.
Wow. Dude, you gotta send me a link to that. You gotta text me that. Or email it to me.
It's still going.
What kind of budget do they have for fireworks?
Oh, dude, the budget for the pyrotechnics, lighting.
So
see the violinist right there that was just right in the middle? He was amazing.
Did you say the ceiling was in sync? The lighting? Mike.
I mean, just incredible. Was that not cool?
It was.
Dude, props to everybody that put everything into that for setup.
I was enamored.
A lot of work.
Wow. And that place was sold out, basically. I mean, obviously, so where the stage was at, I mean, there's nobody's in the seats behind that, but the people were all the way up in the rafters. It was
lots of creativity.
Yeah. Where I was going with that when I first brought that up, being on the floor and talking about home court advantage for the Pistons or home ice advantage for the Wings, was just how, I guess maybe you could call it intimate, that LCA really is, because of how it is tiered, for all intents and purposes, straight up.
On top.
Yeah. The crowd is on top of you.
Have you been?
No. I don't know that I want to go on the upper deck.
Scary.
Yeah, because
It's scary.
even walking from...
It's a great view, but it's scary.
Yeah, I can only imagine how good the view is. But even walking from the main concourse down to the floor level, the steep descent that you go on is pretty remarkable. And I mean, I guess you would call it not for the faint of heart for anybody that has problems climbing or descending down steps, because it's definitely something to behold. Go ahead.
A couple weeks ago when we were there with my dad, he made mention that when we were in the Legends Club, whatever, the one at the end, it's where we were at. And first thing I know, not only first class, but now in a suite.
A Legends Club. Anyway.
So, but the first thing he said was, he goes, oh my God, this is Olympia. This is what Olympia was like, because the gondolas, everything. You were right on top of the ice and Olympia, and he said it just reminded so much of that.
Obviously, I've never experienced it, but
Olympia.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was the thing he really said.
But what I was saying about, you could tell the acoustics of that place, because I mean, at the end of the day, the crowd was probably, the vast majority of the people there were 40 and over, I guess you would say, maybe 35 and over, just because, again, Trans-Siberian Orchestra has been playing for, I believe this is their 30th. So they've been doing a lot, and they essentially really do mostly around the holidays, and they travel the country. I think they do travel the world too. But the crowd that was there when they got into it, I mean, being on the floor, you could absolutely hear the sound of the crowd coming down. So you can just imagine being a Red Wing player or a Pistons player being on that court, and how that would give you some drive for sure. Yeah, it is amazing to me, because I've been on the ice at Joe Louis, and I've been on the floor at Joe Louis. I've been on the floor at the Palace. The Palace especially seemed massive.
Yeah. Palace is spread.
Yeah, the Palace was a very wide bowl. It was, yeah, exactly. I would guess, I have no idea,
which is weird.
A couple 100 feet wider than LCA. The Palace was
at least,
easily.
Yeah.
When Mark, ironically enough, Mark, guess what I found today?
Oh.
I was in the basement cleaning. I found the ticket stub to Billy
Mark's
Joel.
Cleaning. Shocking.
The Billy Joel?
Yes. Wow. I should have brought it up. I'll bring it. I have the Billy Joel floor concert row 5 seating tickets.
Wow.
Yes. So
we got to pass. We got to pass.
Yeah, concert. We got to pass. We're walking around. We got to pass.
Hang on, we got to pass.
Yeah. So, anyways, I remember being on the floor, and we sat at a couple different Pistons games on the floor too. But the Palace, and I love the Palace. The Palace was definitely wider and far more mammoth, I guess you would say. Yeah. Kind of like the United Center, huh?
By far the best refurbished arena ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was the pinnacle. It was basically the trend center for all arenas at that time in the early '90s.
Yeah.
But. And even Joe Louis to an extent. But being at LCA, because of the way it climbs and it climbs on top of you, it makes it feel much smaller, even though it's not, because it still holds 20,000 people.
Yeah.
But it feels that it's just a cool... I almost equated it to, whatchamacallit, Detroit, U of D, Mercy, Callahan. How Callahan is small and intimate, huh?
Where were your seats at?
On the floor. We were on the floor.
Oh, okay.
We were row 18.
So you were 40 feet below.
Yeah, right. So we weren't quite row 5 or row 3 for Joel at the Palace.
Which is cool. Which is like, I think that's one of the cool things that Detroit does to keep the skyline. Like Comerica's 40 feet under.
Yeah, Ford Field.
LCA is Ford Field.
Yep.
So Pistons playing good. Mike going to the bathroom, and the Red Wings, second best record in the Atlantic Conference, or excuse me, in the Eastern Conference, number one in the Atlantic Conference for the
Yes,
NHL.
sir.
39 games in, 47 points, only second to 49 from Carolina. Honestly, a little more of a shock than what I thought. I was hoping they were going to compete for a playoff spot this year. And early on, they played well. They had a big dip, and they've kind of been back.
Wings?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I kind of thought maybe yesterday would be a quote-unquote trap game at Carolina. Carolina's pretty much on par with the Wings, 49 points. Their point differential is plus 18. The Wings is minus 5. So that's still, I think they got to work on that. Wings are 7-3-0 in their last 10. Carolina was 5-3-1. So again, very similar teams, but they did take the loss 5-2 yesterday. They're at home tonight against the Leafs. And the Leafs right now are 17-15-5 with 39 points. So that does not sit well in Toronto at all, especially with their proclivity to bow out in the first round of the playoffs every year. Mm-hmm. Our friend of the UFP, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Sean Beamish, very large Leafs fan. I'm sure he's not happy either, but that game, the puck drop is in approximately 56 minutes from now, Sunday night. So, of course, I don't know that it's on. I don't think it's on. Is it on national TV, Mark?
I'm not quite sure, honestly. But one of the things I do want to bring up, which when we talked about the Wings a couple weeks ago, Larkin and DeBrincat were top when it came to points, and all of a sudden, Lucas Raymond, 41 points, got 11 goals and 30 assists. And he's been playing strong lately, which he has. DeBrincat 20-20 and Larkin 20-16. Your top three players right there. I mean, the rookies have been kind of falling back down a little bit from what they were in the past, but still they're playing good hockey. They're playing the way they need to. But to me, if you're going to go further, the biggest thing is you still got to get those goalies. I mean, Gibson and Talbot both had a 3.0 goals against, but I think they need a solid goaltender, I think, is what they really need.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
So I texted you guys this. That is the goal song? Stupid Eminem song that brings everybody down. Literally, I'll say this for the 1 millionth time. The worst goal song in history. Stop. If the Detroit Red Wings organization is listening, Steve Yzerman, if you're listening, another number 19. Hey, Hockey Town or something. That
there it is.
Song, whoop, there it is. That stupid song, yeah,
get rid of it.
Yeah,
get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, the game I was at, it really is.
Well, it's just you can't. Yeah, how do you like? I mean, take the crowd eruption, and it's almost like it's an immediate come down. But say, what's the Four Nations? Oh, it's not this year, right? Are they playing again this year? Four Nations?
Olympics. No, it's the Olympics this year.
Oh, that's the Olympics. I'm sorry. It's the Olympics, which is good. That comes up in January. The Wings don't have a... Huh?
If they play this year, considering this arena.
Yeah. Do you know that the Wings don't have a home game, I believe, in the month of...
Seriously?
Probably February?
Wouldn't
shock me.
Pretty sure. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Really?
Well, they're off they'll be off for 3 weeks for the Olympics.
Yep. So they do not have...
Yeah, maybe I think they'll let us do a podcast at LCA.
Sure. No one's using it. Might as well.
In the month of February, the Detroit Red Wings do not have. They have a home game versus Colorado on Saturday, January 1st. And then they are at Colorado, at Utah, at Ottawa, at Carolina, at Nashville. So the Olympics are in there, obviously. Their last game is Wednesday, February 4th. And then they come back 15 days later, February 26th. Oh, sorry, 22 days later, and they're at Ottawa. So
22? Jeez,
22 days off for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Wow.
So depending on how they're playing, to me, that's almost an atrocity. Mm-hmm. Like what we talked about earlier with
your
college
body,
football.
Like
yeah. I mean, if you're not playing in the Olympics, what do you do for 22 days? I mean, I guess there could be an argument. There could be an argument to be made that they come back and fully refresh and everything else, but at the same time, you lose your team chemistry for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they play Wednesday, February 4th at Utah, and then they don't play again until Thursday, February 26th at Ottawa. They do not have a home game until Wednesday, March 4th when they welcome in the Knights of Las
Columbus?
Vegas. Huh?
It'd be the
Yes.
Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights. So now, and they've only got 2 games. So that's a home game March 2nd. I'm sorry. That's a home game March. They've got a home game March 6th, and then they're on the road for 5 games again. At Jersey, at Florida, at Tampa Bay, at Dallas. So
Is the
okay, so
circus in town?
March, which we don't like to talk about in this town with the Red Wings because of the last 2 years, especially in their play in March.
No.
In the month of March and going into the second half of March, beginning Monday, March 16th, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the last probably 16 games of the season, they're at home. So that'll be good. Is tonight's game? Where are we at here? Sunday? No, it's on ESPN Plus, so it's not. The game's not on tonight. I guess I should probably break down and actually get a FanDuel Sports. How much is it a month?
I don't know. We just use my mother-in-law's. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Son of a gun, Miller. Yeah.
No,
Yep.
Can we use it too?
$20 a month. I can't justify spending $20 a month.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm anxious to see the Wings playing well, Pistons playing well, Tigers played well last year. The Lions are bad, but they're still not the worst team in the league. Good time to be a sports fan here in Detroit area.
It is. Right now it is. Heck yes.
Yeah,
I'll say this really quick. Steve Yzerman's taken a lot of flack, a ton of flack. He was clearly the favorite son of this town for a very long time. There was a lot of hype and expectations when they hired him as the general manager 8 years ago now, right? Stevie's taken a lot of flack over the last 2 years, especially with the way this team played. Hasn't made the playoffs in, 10 years now, right? Which is unprecedented for a team that made it 26 years straight and 4 Stanley Cups. But I will say this. I was also getting frustrated with Stevie. I was also getting frustrated with
Ditto.
this.
And I was getting mad at myself about
And
it.
I'm not saying that they're out of the woods, but the way that the youngsters are playing now, the way that Dylan Larkin, as the captain of this team, is putting this team on his back, putting the young kids on his back, and how the future, now that they're starting to win, you're able to take a little bit of a step back and see he's got something going on. This team, while it's taken a long time to get here, I firmly believe the Detroit Red Wings are returning to the glory days. I think they are going to be on a tear for the next however many years and a legitimate cup contender. Not saying they are a cup contender this year, in no way, shape, or form. But I do believe they are going to make the playoffs. I do believe they have the potential to win a first-round game. I firmly believe that. But this team is being set up by what Steve Yzerman has done, and he's certainly made some mistakes. He's never going to admit that. The franchise will not admit that. He has made mistakes, but they certainly seem to be coming around, which is great to see because I love the Red Wings.
Piggyback off that. Yeah. Dylan Larkin's definitely stepped up as a
captain. That game-winning goal the other night.
Oh yeah.
Skated in the slot, wrist shot, and even the play before and was it DVR? Is that his acronym for his name?
Yeah.
That between the legs, no look behind the back pass. That was incredible.
Dude, it was sick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you were over and I screamed at the TV. Everybody's like, what are you screaming at? I haven't been that excited about a Wings game in a long time.
So let's talk about excitement in a different realm. We talked about when it's appropriate to put Christmas lights up, to put Christmas things up. Mike, you're very vigilant about that. I'm going to go the opposite. When is it time to take things down? Because the day after Christmas this year, I was ready to take my Christmas tree and everything else down.
Really?
No.
Oh, I'm like, I need my living room back. I want everything back. I just want it all away. So when is the appropriate time to put that stuff away for you guys?
Go ahead, Jim. You need a shower.
What's with you in the shower?
God, I keep raising my arms. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't smell very good today. Yeah. Sorry.
I was just at your house like 2 hours ago.
Raise your hand if you're sure.
Said something.
No, so I got OCD. I'm not diagnosed with it. So
did you take your stuff down already? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, just take it down. Like you just want normal back,
Well, I'm sure I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this.
And I'm going to be a negative Nancy the Grinch when I say stuff like that. So
that's not a true toy.
Go ahead.
Get it out. Get it done. It's done. Move on.
All right. I'm done.
So the Christmas decorations in the Ward House will probably not come down till at the earliest, especially with us going to Pennsylvania now. Next weekend, possibly the weekend. Again, I'm going to take so much crap from this, but maybe the weekend after.
I got to log off.
The kids thoroughly enjoy it. The kids like this stuff up. Rebecca told me the other day that she doesn't want the Christmas stuff coming down anytime soon. I do have this propensity to want the house back, the living room back, even though I don't spend a ton of time at the house, I guess you would say, outside of cleaning. Nonetheless, I did not put, Jim, I can't believe you didn't say anything, but I did not put lights up outside this year. And I have taken a little bit of flack from the family. Yeah.
Man, you caught me off guard on that one. I didn't realize there was no exterior illumination.
Yeah, there was no exterior illumination this year. So what happened was I got a little bit behind schedule, crisscrossing the country doing all these trade shows for 4 weeks, and I didn't have a chance to do it. Usually I'll do it like the weekend after, like the Sunday after the Thanksgiving, which is the day after the Michigan-Ohio State game. Yeah. Well, as you guys remember, we got snow. It was bitterly cold. So I put it off. I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm just going to put this off for a week because I got to travel again that following week, and I'll do it next weekend. Well, hell, it got even colder. So I'm like,
yeah, same here.
Okay, I'm not. And Kaylee was laying into me pretty hard. She's like, Dad, the Christmas lights outside. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that maybe tomorrow.
Are her arms and her legs broken?
I didn't recognize that.
What, Mark?
Is her arms and legs broken? She could have done it herself.
Yeah. No, Dad clearly is the expert of all experts when it comes to exterior illumination.
Exterior illumination.
Kathy put them up here because I was the same way. I was so busy with stuff and things were going on, and then it got cold, and all of a sudden I get a text on a random afternoon like, by the way, where's this? Where's that? I'm like, well, why do you need to know? She goes, I'm putting everything up outside. I'm like, what? Okay, go ahead.
I got one excuse. I can't do ladders.
Oh, yeah, your knee.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, we have neglected to focus and give you your props for your new position. I don't know if you really want to say what position it is.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that next week. Yeah.
Oh,
we'll talk about that next week.
See, there you go. I didn't know you had that on your agenda.
So hopefully I'm fully gainfully employed by then and everything else. So.
Did you say gainfully?
Yes, that is the term. But yeah, hopefully this works out for you. Or obviously all pulling for you and yeah, awesome. You worthless piece of what. Now look at the look on your face.
Go outside, nerd.
Yeah. Go outside, nerd.
I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
So, Congrats, Miller. You're
while we're on that,
you're
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you're a good employee to anybody. Seriously.
That's right.
Let's while we're on this, Mike's positivity.
Oh yeah.
Boy. Here we go.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Mike's Rant of the Week. And now, here is Mike with his rant.
His rant. Okay.
I have no clue.
Well, I mean, listen. So since I've gotten back, I guess, a little bit on the social media realm, scrolling through Facebook or whatever the heck they call it, flipping or scrolling or this or that, I do find it amazing to me the amount of fake news stories, like egregiously fake, where it's any reasonable human being would look at it and go, that there's no way that's real. And then if you do your own little bit of research, you go, okay, clearly this is not real. But I find it amazing how many pop up now that people just randomly make up the most crazy stuff ever known to mankind. And obviously there's people out there that read this stuff and I guess take it to heart. And I'm not even talking politics. I'm not talking anything polarizing. I'm talking even just sports. Like some of the, and I'm not even going to give examples because I don't even want to give credence or viability to any of these stupid websites or these stupid articles. But some of this stuff is clearly so made up. It's deceiving. It's like, wait a minute. You can talk about clickbaits and crazy headlines, which, oh yeah, by the way, there was a crazy headline the other day. I was reading through, because I like to get on just the internet and read through stories per se, right? So I found one the other day, and it said, hold on, I'm going to read this real quick. This was the headline. Oops, I got it right here. Got it right there. You'll have to excuse my interruption. We're gonna go ahead and. Oh, Jimmy, there's my. You sent me that link for the new front door. All right, here we go.
Oh.
So this is from. I'm not gonna say the website. Here is
a website.
It's a website. So here is the tagline: "Don't tread. Final days until Discount Tire shuts all 1,200 locations across the U.S. during a 24-hour blackout." That caught my attention. I'm like, they're shutting all 1,200 locations in the U.S. during a 24-hour blackout? Bear with me. While only temporary, the closures could still significantly impact U.S. drivers, especially if they've been putting off some key upkeep. Discount Tire has 1,179 locations across the country, all of which will be closed for 24 hours later this week. So this was earlier in the week. The closures are in recognition of Christmas, which this year falls on Thursday, December 25th. Stores are set to reopen nationally on Friday, December 26th, and will operate under their regular hours. I'm reading this, I'm like, there's no way that somebody actually legitimately wrote this article. Like, what dumb moron does not know that Discount Tire is closed on Christmas? While the stores will also be open on Wednesday, December 24th, or Christmas Eve, as better known, most should be operating under special or reduced holiday hours. The closures are significant for the fact that motorists traveling for the holiday who have a tire emergency won't be able to fix it on Christmas Day. So drivers who've been putting off getting a new set of tires or switching to winter tires will also be unable to do so if they don't get to their store before it closes on Christmas Eve.
That's when I buy my new tires. Traditionally, is always Christmas morning. It's when they have the best deals, right?
What are we doing? How do we have news articles so clickbaity, like to make it sound like
I have no comment because what I want to say is not proper.
I think
if I was
Bell Tire put that out. Bell Tire was
that's funny. So
that's actually a good point, Miller.
So listen, this is what I was going to say. I was going to say, if I was Discount Tire, I would get a hold of this particular news outlet, if that's even what you want to lead credence to them as being as this news outlet, and say, did you seriously put us in an article saying that we were going to close all 1,200 stores later this week? And the only reason you said that is because it was Christmas? Like, what tire store is open on Christmas? I mean, come on. So, yeah, there you go. So my rant, again, is about fake news stories, egregiously fake news stories. I feel like we have to start setting – I get it.
Swear to God.
Free speech, freedom of press, freedom to do this, freedom to do that. But if you're going to actually legitimately put out news articles, there has to be some standards. And perhaps that is a topic for another day that we can certainly – discuss, and we can come up with our own rules as to what those parameters should be. Like, check with the UFP first before you publish anything. If we give our blessing, you can go to press.
Dude,
Jimmy is our editor in chief.
Work? It's gonna get nasty.
We're gonna wrap things up here now that we're almost an hour and 45 in. But
right, Mike?
A couple things. Homework. You two that we have not come to is number one is we need to do next week. We will do the John Candy top 10 movies. The I Like Me.
Okay, we're 143 in.
Yeah,
the second is
too. Good.
Yeah, the second thing is we are. I'm gonna have a quiz for you guys. I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but you can just like Jeopardy, start studying the phone book. There's gonna be a quiz for you guys next week. Yep.
Man. man.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it is sports related. So,
well, at least we have a
I
hint. Is this going to be an open book quiz?
It is. Nope, not open book.
Son
This
of
is
a
going to be.
biscuit.
We're gonna go over this quiz, and we're gonna do it early next week, so we don't forget. But
how do we study?
Go to ESPN.com. I'll just give you that.
Oh, okay.
That's a very large site to be able to just willy-nilly go. I have to read all articles on. No, anyway.
Hang on, I gotta go buy a new laptop. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So I appreciate you guys always sticking around to this point. So we say it all the time: like, share, pass it on, tell your friends, tell your foes, whoever else you want to talk to us. Right.
All you trolls out there that have been trolling us, we love you.
Absolutely. All you Notre Dame fans, especially.
Well, we like you guys a lot, actually. Yes.
Absolutely. So now that we're in this, appreciate again. Thank you guys for the holidays. We got a holiday break is over with. So wrapping up this year. So Mike, Jimmy, what's on the calendar this week besides you guys going skiing?
Mike, you go.
Yeah, we're headed to Aunt Anne's in the sun. You know, we have to do a pseudo live version from the slopes of Seven Springs.
That'd be hilarious.
In Pennsylvania.
Computer with you? Taking your computer?
No, I'm thinking about it. I might have to. I might have to get Uncle Mark on for a guest appearance.
Oh, that would be.
Oh man, we're gonna be.
I mean,
a lot of this going on. A lot of filters.
You're gonna have to edit.
Yes.
Jimmy, how about you?
Trying to get him to go with us.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Hard.
Just working.
I got nothing.
Catch up. I got nothing. Yeah, as always.
Work for me 3 days.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
And I was gonna say, work for me, busy 3 days, and trying to get this content out for you guys to enjoy.
That's right.
Cool. Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to our troops. They got a Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you for everything.
That's right.
Yep.
Amen. They didn't get to spend the holidays with their families, whether they're overseas, abroad, whatever it might be. Yes. Thank you guys for everything you do for making this country the greatest country in the world.
And exciting next year, 250 years.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
We don't look a year above 200. So
no, not at all.
we look good for
everybody. Enjoy New Year's Eve. Please celebrate responsibly. Have fun. Have a very happy new year. Here's to 25 going out and 26 coming in and being even better than 25s.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Enjoy. All right. Let's get this listed up.